All right, class. So today we are going to go through the study guide for our test. That's on Friday. So that gives you a while to prepare. And if you need additional assistance or help, you can always come to tutoring well, we don't have office hours this week because of reading testing, but I'll be more than happy to meet with you outside of office hours. Is fine. Okay, so you do have that option, even though we don't have the regular office hours time. You can still meet with me. Okay, just send me a text and remind, and I'll be more than happy to accommodate you. First question number one: a spherical. So we're talking about a sphere. Okay, snow globe. And a globe, is a circular, like a ball. So we're talking about a sphere. Okay, is filled 5/6 full with water. Okay, so 5/6 of it is good, almost all the way full, because 5/6 way full is almost 6/6, which is a whole. If the diameter, so D is the diameter, if the diameter is 9 inches, about how much water is in the globe. So cut the diameter in half. So half of 9 is going to be 4.5. All right, so to find the volume of a sphere, you use the formula 4/3 pi r to the third power. Okay, and of course, with these problems, we're going to use the calculator, so we clear it. And that's 2 plus 712. Make sure your calculator is cleared. All right, so we need the radius. That's why we found the radius. When they gave us a diameter, we need the radius for the volume formulas. So now we're going to substitute. We have 4/3 times, and we're going to multiply it times pi. We're going to type pi in our calculator, and then we're going to multiply it times the radius to the third power. So this is what we're going to type into our calculator. Okay? All right, so we're going to type in the fraction 4/3. We're going to find the volume of the whole thing, and then we're going to find 5/6 of that. So that'll tell us how much water is, how much water is in that globe. So we got parentheses 4 divided by 3, that's the fraction, times pi. Pi is the second button, caret key, times, and we got 4.5, caret key, because we're going to raise it to the third power, and press enter. So it gives us this, okay? So now we're going to take this number and we're going to multiply it times 5/6. So we're going to say the answer, this right here. So we're going to say times, we just press times 5 divided by 6. You see how I put my fraction in parentheses. No confusion, just put it in parentheses. And now I get this 318.08. So they rounded to the nearest whole number, so that's going to be 3.18. So our answer is about 318 inches to the third power. That's D. Okay. All right. Number 2, a cylinder shaped swimming pool. So we're talking about a cylinder. Has a diameter, so D is equal to 14 feet. Remember, with volume formulas, especially the circular, with the circular shapes, you need the radius. So cut the diameter in half. So 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7 feet. Okay, that's what we need. It has a height, H is 5. Approximately how many gallons of water will it take to fill the pool 1 foot from the top? So decrease the height by 1 foot. Okay, so instead of the height being 5, we wanted to go up to 4. Okay, so decrease the height by 1 foot. All right, so your formula for a cylinder is pi r squared times the height. Please remember your formulas by heart. Okay, so this is going to give me pi. We're going to type in pi. The radius is 7 feet squared times a height of 4 because we want 1 foot away from the top. So clear here. We'll type in pi, that's second caret key, times 7, caret key 2, because we're going to square the 7, and then we're going to multiply it times a height of 4. And that's going to give me this right here. That's going to give me about 615.75. And so that's going to be A. Okay? That's going to be A. All right. And wait. They want this in gallons. So skirt on your brakes. All right. So since they want this in gallons, for every single foot, cubic foot is going to be 7.48 gallons. So we need to take this feet to the third power and multiply it times 7.48. Read it, Miss Reyes. Read it. Okay. Y'all have to call me out when I get it wrong, right? So we got to multiply the answer here, this right here, times 7.48. Sorry about that, y'all. And that gives me 4,605.82. So that the closest answer is going to be B. Not A, y'all, but B. All right. Okay, it says the diameter of the base of the cone. So we looking at a cone shape. Remember, your cone shape looks like this, okay? Or you can turn it around and do it the other way. But the diameter, D, is equal to 5 inches, okay? The height, H, is 6. Remember, for circular shapes, you need the radius and not the diameter. So we're going to cut 5 in half, so that's 2.5. And if you forget how to do that, look, just divide it by 2 and see. It's 2.5, okay? So we using the radius. The formula for a cone, please know these formulas by heart, is a third of a cylinder. So it's 1/3 pi r squared times the height. So this is going to be V is equal to 1/3. You're going to type in times pi. Then you're going to put the radius, 2.5, and we're going to square it. And then we're going to multiply it times the height of 6. Okay? All right. So they want to know what is the volume of this container. So that's what we're finding here, the volume. So we type in 1 divided by 3, my fraction, I put in parentheses, times, I'm going to type in pi, that's second caret key, times, we got 2.5, and we're squaring it, so caret key to the second power, and then we're going to multiply times the height, which is 6. So that's going to give us, V is about 39.26, so that's going to give us A, 39 cubic inches. Okay. Number 4, the diagonal of a square measures 10. So the diagonal of a square is 10. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, so the diagonal for a square, we're going to draw the diagonal for a square. So look at this. A square looks like this, okay? All the sides are, and we're looking at this diagonal here. So each of these sides are 10, okay? So the, the diagonal. The diagonal is 10. So this is a right angle here. So to find the missing measurement of a right angle, you can use the Pythagorean Theorem. That's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And your 2 legs is what forms the right angle. So these are my 2 legs right here, my A and my B. But I'm going to give A and B the same letter because they have the same measure. So this is x squared plus x squared equals 10 squared. Okay, I don't need to give it 2 different letters because remember all these sides are the same. So these are the same. Since they are the same number, I'm going to give it the same letter. So x squared plus x squared is going to be 2x squared is equal to 100. So now look closely. To get x by itself, I got to get rid of this 2. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And this is going to give me x squared is equal to, we got 50. And now we're going to do the square root on both sides. So the square root here is, this is going to be x. And then we got the square root of 50. Let me make sure they're asking me. Okay. All right. So we got the square root of 50. Okay. As my answer for each of the sides. So now I can erase this and I'm going to put the square root of 50 in its place. Okay. So to find the area of a square, remember that's s to the second power. A is equal to s to the second power. So my a is equal to, and I got the square root of 50, and I'm squaring it. So if I don't know what that is, then I can type that in. I can type in parentheses, the square root, okay, 50, close that parentheses, close it twice, and then square it. It's caret key 2, and that gives you 50. Square root, squaring a number and square root are opposites of each other, so they cancel each other out. So when they cancel each other out, I'm just left with an answer of 50. And since I'm talking about area, it's going to be 50 centimeters to the second power. So that answer is B. All right. Number 5, a wall in the classroom has a length of 16 feet. So let's draw a classroom, and it's 16 feet. The wall is 16 feet high. Okay? 16 feet. Oh, well, it says 16 feet in length. So let me put it this way. Okay? And then it says, and the diagonal, so this has to be a diagonal here, is 20. A student is painting a rectangular mural on the wall. The mural is the length of 6 feet, and okay, so the mural. So let's draw another box. This is the mural. Is 6 feet in length, so that's this way again, and has a diagonal of 10. Okay, that's a diagonal of 10. What is the difference between the width? So what is the difference between these two? Okay, so let's find the measurements of these sides. These are both right triangles. So I'm going to use Pythagorean Theorem for both. So let's do this first one. We got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Slide this up a little bit. And remember, this side is my A, this is my B, and the slanted side is my C. So I got A is missing, B is 16, and C is 20. Okay? So we have A squared plus 16 squared, so that's 16 times 16, or 16 squared, and that's 256. And 20 squared is going to be 400, or you can type it in if you don't remember. 20 times 20, we got 400. Now to get A by itself, you're going to subtract 256 on both sides. 256. So we got 400 minus 256, and that gives me 144. So A squared is equal to 144. So now we find the square root on both sides. So the square root, if you don't know that by heart, type it in. Okay, it's 12. So the length or the height on this side is 12. So now let's do this one. Do it the same way. We got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This is a. Okay, so a is missing. B is 6 squared, and c is 10 squared. So here we get 6 times 6 is 36. 10 times 10 is 100. We're going to subtract 36 on both sides. This is gone, and I'm left with a squared is equal to, don't forget if you don't know, 100 minus 36, look at that, 64. So this gives me 64. I'm going to find the square root on both sides. So A is equal to 8. So what's the difference between the two? So you subtract. You say 12 minus 8. See that? So you got, if you forget 12 minus 8, you can easily type in and that gives you 4. So B is your answer. That's the difference between the two heights. Okay. The legs of the right triangle. So we draw a right triangle. And remember the legs are 16 and 23 centimeters. Approximately, what's the perimeter? So we need to find this and then add all the sides together. So this is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, because that's how you find this missing length. This is going to give you 16 squared plus 23 squared equals c squared, which is what you're trying to find, the hypotenuse. So you have 16, let's do 16 squared gives me 256, and 23 squared gives me 529. Okay, so I'm going to add these two together. I get 256 plus 529, and that gives me 785. Okay, now I'm going to find the square root on both sides. So let's do the square root. We got square root of 785, and that gives me 28, about roughly 28. Okay, so now we're looking for, this is equal to 28, the perimeter. So we're going to add all these sides together. That's 16 plus 23 plus 28. Okay, all right, so we got 16 plus 23 plus 28, and that gives us 67. So C is our answer here, 67 centimeters. Okay, all right, number 7, a right rectangular prism is shown below. Okay, so now we're trying to find this diagonal here. There's a formula for that. I'm going to give you that formula. It's the diagonal of a rectangular box is going to be that diagonal here. The formula is the square root of length squared plus width squared plus height squared. All right, and that's the formula that you're going to use. So your length is how long it is. We got 4 squared plus 3 squared plus 5.5 squared. And then we're going to square root everything. Okay, so we got 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 3 is 9. And now we just need to do 5.5 times 5.5. And that gives us, oops, sorry, y'all. I don't know what I did there. 30.25. So now let's add these together. That's 16 plus 9 plus 30.25. And that gives me 55.25. All right. So now let's find the square root of this. Second x squared. We type in 55.25. And that gives us 7.43 and some change. So that's about 7. Okay. So C is going to be your answer there. 7 is C. Okay. All right. Number 8. A ladder that is 26 feet in length. So we got a ladder, it's 26 feet, touches the house at a height of 24. So this is your house, and this is the ladder. And again, we said the ladder is 23 feet, and it touches the house at this height. So the height from here to here is 24. 26. I said 23. Sorry, y'all. I said, how far from the house is the base of the ladder? So this is the length that you're trying to find here. So we're going to use Pythagorean Theorem. So this is the ladder. This is the height of the wall. This is where the ladder touches the wall. It's 24 feet. So we're going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Right? So this is my a. My b is what's missing. And my c is the slanted side. That's the hypotenuse. So we got 24 squared plus b is missing. And we got 26 squared. So let's simplify them both. We got 24 times 24. That is 576 plus b squared equals, and we got 26 times 26. Okay, so this is going to be 676. Now to get b by itself, you got to get rid of this. This is a positive 576. So we're going to subtract 576 on both sides. Okay, so this gives me b squared is equal to 100. So last thing we do, the opposite of squaring a number is square root. So we're going to square root both sides. The square root of b squared is just b. The square root of 100 is 10. So it's going to be 10 feet b. It's going to be 10 feet b. Okay. Number 9. An airplane is 275 feet away from the airport. Okay, so that's how far it is away from the airport. To get to the present location, the plane flew 125 feet south. So let's do this. South is going to be down. So let's go this way, down. All right, let's go south. And so down south, like we going to Florida. And that is 125. Okay. And let's see, from the airport, and then flew west. The west coast is out towards Florida. So that out towards Florida would be this way. Okay. And so let me move this and put the 125 south. Okay. And then this is like going to Florida, from here to Florida, and then going out towards California. So this would be, what did I want to say? Where is that man? Okay. Where is it? All right. And then flew due west. Okay. So this is the west. And it didn't give us an amount there. Okay. So I'm going to put question mark. All right. So now, what is it asking us for? To the nearest mile, how far did the plane, how far west did the plane fly? So we know this measurement because it tells us that this is where it is. So it tells us it's 275 miles from the airport. So this is how many miles it is from the airport. This is the direct miles from the airport. So this is 275. So we're going to use Pythagorean Theorem to find this side here. So we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Our a is this side, b is missing, and c is the slanted side. So we got a, which is 125 squared, b is missing, and c is 275. Okay, so let's type this in. We got 125 times 125, and that's going to give us 15,625 plus b squared. And then we got 275 times 275. And that gives us 75,625. So now let's subtract your 15,625 on both sides. Okay, so this is gone. I'm left with b squared. And when I subtract 75,625 minus 15,625, I get 6,000. Well, sorry, 60,000. Tripping. Okay. So now I'm going to find the square root of 60,000. So let's do that. Square root 60,000. One. Make sure I have enough zeros. And that gives me about 244 miles. 44.9. So it's about 245. So C is your answer. And I'm sorry about that. Okay. Look at that. That's what I did there. Okay. All right. So let's look at the next one. Number 10, it says an isosceles triangle is shown below. This is an isosceles. Isosceles means that these two sides have the same measure. Okay. What is the perimeter of the triangle? So we're going to do Pythagorean Theorem to find this out. So I'm going to draw a right triangle here down the center. And I know what the measurement of my two legs are. I have 1, 2, 3. It's 3 units this way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units this way. Okay? So I'm gonna find this missing side here. So if I find this side, that means I know what this side is also. So I have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And the slanted side is what I'm trying to find. So I have 8 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. This is 3, this is 8. So we got 8 times 8 is 64. 3 times 3 is 9. That gives us c squared. So now we have 64 plus 9. And that gives us 73. Okay? So I'm going to find the square root of 73. So square root of 73 is equal to 8.54 about. Okay? So this is about 8.5. So we're going to add 8.5 plus 8.5 plus, and down here at the bottom, this whole measurement here is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 6. So we got 8.5 plus 8.5 plus 6. And we're going to find the closest answer. And the closest answer is 23. Okay? It's going to be 23. All right, let's look at number 11. These are the vertices approximately. What is the length of JL? All right, so now we can graph this and see. Okay, so I got some graph paper and we're gonna graph it. We have the 2, 4. So I'm going to go to 2, 1, 2, and up 1, 2, 3, 4. This is J. And then we have K at 2, 1, 2, and then down 3, 1, 2, 3. This is K. Okay. And then let me slide this up. And then we have -6. Go over here to -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's this way. -6 is this way. And then -3 is down. 1, 2, 3. So this is L. Okay. All right. So this is a triangle. And it's a right triangle at that. Okay. So it says, what is the length of J and L? So what's this length right here? So you're going to use Pythagorean Theorem. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 8. So we got 7 and 8. This side is 7, this side 8. So this is A, and this is B. So the side we're looking for is C. Okay? So we got A squared plus B squared equals C squared, where remember A is 7 and B is 8. Okay? So here we have 7 times 7, which is 49. and then 8 times 8, which is 64. Okay, so when we add those together, we have 49. Oops, sorry, y'all. 49 plus the 64, and that gives us 113. Okay, c squared. So now we find the square root on both sides. So the square root of, what did we say, 113? Is equal to 10.6. Okay, so we got 10.6, which is about 11 units. If you round it to the nearest whole number, it's about 11. Okay, let me slide this up some so you can see that. All right, so we're on the last one, number 12. It says, what is the diagonal of this square? So let's draw the diagonal. So the diagonal is this right here from here to here. So this is a right triangle, and we're going to find the measurements of these two sides. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. So A is 5 and B is 5. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. This is 5. This is 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5 is 25. So that gives me 50. So now I'm going to find the square root on both sides. So let's do the square root. The square root of 50 is equal to 7.07. So 7.07 is about still 7, because this is a 0 here. So 7, your answer is going to be C. Please go back and watch the video again if you need to. If you need additional help, just let me know. Submit this assignment, please. Do that at this time. Guys, have a great day.